Okay guys, we're at the heat retention test, and I did a cold retention test, but they all held ice. I put ice cubes in all three of them and put them on the counter overnight. Woke up and they all three had ice in them still. So needless to say, they hold cold for as long as you would need them to, that's for sure. So let's get on to the heat retention test. I think that's where we're going to find a clear winner, and we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do here is take my hot water. This is, I just brewed coffee like I was going to make coffee like I do every morning. And I'm going to fill each cup up and put their lids on them. And I'll do 2 and 3 hours, and we'll see what we get as far as temperature in each one of them. So I'm going to fill this one up. This Yeti cup is a 14-ounce cup, and I'll fill it up to the fill line. There we go. The RTIC cup is also a 14-ounce cup, so we'll go ahead and fill that up. And we'll need more water. So let me put the lid on these two, and I'll start my testing with these two right now. So that's the RTIC, here's the Yeti, and let me get my stopwatch going for this right now, and we'll get that going for those two, and I'll have to do the other one separate. But let's go ahead and get a temperature reading on the water to start. See if you guys can see the temperature reading. Let's see here, 170, let's just say 175. 175 on that one. And this one is 177. 175 and 177. Let me make a note of that. Okay guys, sorry for the delay. I was not thinking that I was going to need more than one pot of water. Here's my second pot of water, and I'll set separate timers for these so we get an accurate reading. But I'm going to go ahead and fill this up just like I was going to drink coffee in the morning kind of thing. And we'll fill it up to the fill line. And there we go. Set that down, put the lid on, and let's see what we get for a reading, and make note. Okay, so we get, let's say 170. Ooh, that kind of switches back and forth. I'm going to say 176. 176. And I'll wait 2 hours and we'll take the temperatures again. Okay everybody, we are at the 2-hour mark for the first two. Remember, we have this one over here that's at a different timed, slightly different than the rest. So we'll get our temperature here without touching the bottom. And we've got, let's say, 135. 135 on that one. What do we got here? Let's say 152. 152. And I'll get back to you in a couple more minutes, more like 7 minutes, with the temperature reading on the far left here. Okay, time to test the temperature in the last one. And let me see if I can move this out of the way so you can see the thermometer. Okay. And we have a temperature reading of still going. I'm going to call it at 130. Whoops, still going here. Maybe it gets to the next one. It did. I'm going to call that at 135. 135. So, let's do a little math here. Let's get this one back in here. 135. Okay, so the differences that we have at the 1 hour mark, excuse me. The Yeti is sitting at 40 degrees difference. The Arctic is sitting at a 25 degree difference. And the Ozark Trail is sitting at a 39 degree difference at the 1 hour mark. So the Arctic is in a gigantic lead, which is not at all surprising for me. But the Yeti and the Ozark Trail are neck and neck, all intents purposes dead even. So let's find out what happens in another hour. Okay guys, here we are at the 3 hour mark. 3 hour mark for these two here. Remember that the one on the end is on a different timer. And this is going to be my final check. I think we're going to get the gist of the heat retention. Nobody's going to drink coffee or a hot beverage of any kind for longer than 3 hours. So let's get started. The Yetis first. Okay. We're going to say 123 at the 3 hour mark. 123. Write that down. Moving on to the Arctic at the 3 hour mark. We're going to say, ooh, it's still going. 141 at the 3 hour mark. 141. Okay, everybody, we are back for the temperature test on the Ozark Trail. We're going to move the Arctic Cup out of the way. And let's go ahead and get our temperature reading here. And we're still going up. Let's say, I think it's going to stop there. 122. 122 at the 3 hour mark. So let me get you your totals here real quick. Okay guys, I have done my math. And let's line these up here so we can talk about it here, and we'll declare a winner in the temperature test. There's a definitive winner, without a doubt, big time definitive, but then the second and third place is a little bit closer. Okay, so the Yeti. The Yeti has a differential total of 52 degrees after 3 hours. Okay? The Arctic has a differential temperature of 36 degrees at the 3 hour mark. The Ozark Trail has a 54 degree differential at the 3 hour mark. So lower is better here, obviously. So you've got Arctic just mud stomping the Yeti and the Ozark Trail, but the Yeti and the Ozark Trail are neck and neck. There's a 2 degree difference, and it's an interesting outcome because you've got a cup with a larger capacity, 14 ounces versus 8 ounces, but it's got a larger surface area, and this one over here has got a lower capacity at 8 ounces, but a smaller surface area. So the combination of those two things end up balancing out at almost dead even. I am surprised, I have to tell you, that, well, here's the thing. I knew the Arctic was going to win. I didn't know it was going to win by this much. I knew that, but I thought the Yeti would come in last place because of this large surface area. But it turns out I'm wrong about that. And the one that comes in third place for heat retention is the Ozark Trail. By 2 degrees, it's not really significant in any way, but it's something, just to give you a quantitative, value if you were interested in that.